Hey, what's going on, family? This is Michael Cabradilla right here in sunny San Diego, California. Thank you so much for dialing back in. We are reading through this book right here, The 100 Simple Secrets of Happy People. And we've been reading through this book, every single chapter, which is less than 2 pages each. And we've been sharing some insight, posing some questions. We would love for you to participate in the conversation. So feel free to put a comment in the comment section and continue to be with us. So we are on chapter number 48. So let's go ahead and get started. So chapter 48, don't blame yourself. When things go poorly, we sometimes start a list of ways that we failed, ways that we caused the problem. This kind of thinking not only can upset us, but it can also keep us from being able to function. The truth is that any situation is the result of some things that are in your control and some things that are not in your control. Don't delude yourself into thinking a bad situation is completely of your making. Remember, it makes more sense to deal with outcomes than with fault. That's interesting, right? So our company is coming and the dishwasher is spouting water. The flood is spreading across the kitchen floor, heading for your living room. You think to yourself, why did I have to do the dishes right now? Or, if I had washed the dishes by hand, this wouldn't be happening. If I had just waited to use the dishwasher tomorrow, it wouldn't be ruining my night now. It's obvious. If only I had sense enough to see the facts. Why did I even buy this dishwasher? I bet if I had gone with a different model, it wouldn't be flooding my kitchen right now. See, when things go wrong, we look to lay blame, and often we look in the mirror. Psychologists at the National Institute of Mental Health find that many of us fall victim to the everything is my fault approach to life. 2 things we often overlook is how little we directly control a situation and how little value there is in spending our time blaming ourselves. These thoughts do not fix the problem, and these thoughts do not make anything better. Blame is about the past. A plan of action to fix a problem is about the future. Happiness does not depend on how many bad things happen to an individual. What is more important is whether an individual tends to make negative conclusions about him or herself when negative events occur. Individuals who think of themselves as the cause of negative events are 43% less likely to be satisfied than individuals who do not. So what do you think about that? So don't blame yourself. Well, there's a couple things that I think of, and I think of the word ownership, right? So everything, I believe, is one of the philosophies that I typically think of is taking ownership of things that have happened in our lives up until this point, right? In a lot of cases, where we are at right now is a result of the decisions and the choices that we have made in our lives up until this point, right? And I understand, the example in this particular chapter, has to do with the dishwasher. I think we have to know the difference between things that happen as a result of the choices that we've made versus things that happen just because life happens, right? Like if the dishwasher breaks, if the washing machine breaks, if the car breaks down or XYZ, in a lot of cases it isn't under our control. So it's a lot better in a lot of cases to just say, you know what? It is what it is. Life happens. There's nothing that I can do about this right now other than figure out what are my options? How can I move forward? What is the positive way of looking at things? Versus beating ourselves up over the head, saying that, the rest of the day is ruined. My life is going to be ruined from this point on, and having a negative, standpoint. It's so easy to do that. But in those cases, we can take a positive look at things. Well, hey, you know what? A company's coming over. I was going to do XYZ, but man, the carpet's flooded. We'll make do. I was in a conversation earlier today, and a friend of ours had a situation where there was a flood, an undetected flood, dripping over time, a leak that was happening in their kitchen that caused their kitchen to be out of commission for 2 months. Imagine that, not having access to a sink, not having access to a dishwasher, not having access to certain things in your kitchen, all as a result of that leak, and then being out of commission for 2 months. Well, guess what? It is what it is. Life goes on. We'll move past this. I mean, that's one thing that I think of. Taking ownership, though, of things that have happened and blaming others for a current circumstance, in a lot of cases, that's a different story. When a dishwasher breaks down, maybe that's not your fault that the dishwasher broke down. But if we take ownership and we just say, you know what? I take ownership of everything that has happened in my life up until this point, and I'm going to take ownership of making better decisions, or at least the decisions that I feel are best for myself moving forward. I feel like that's a whole different conversation. So what are your thoughts in this regard? Your thoughts in regards to placing blame on others, placing blames on things, versus taking ownership and saying, you know what? I'm going to take ownership. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to make some better choices moving forward so I can get some better results. What are your thoughts on that? Feel free to put some comments in the comments, and we will see you on the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. God bless you.